Welcome to Ask Gwen, everyone. Today I have Miss Crystal with me, so I'm going to let Miss Crystal take it away and explain more about what she does.
Hi, Win. I'm so excited to be a guest on your podcast. Thank you so much for having me. And hello to everyone that is listening. My name is Crystal, and the creator of The Gentle Counselor, where I provide online resources to support the mental health and well-being of parents and children. I'm a former primary school teacher, and I'm currently working as a school counselor and studying because I'm working towards becoming a registered psychologist. I'm really passionate about all things gentle parenting and attachment theory. And I'm now verging into the territory of working with mothers and supporting them on their inner healing journey. And yeah, I'm really excited to talk a bit more about things with you.
And what made you come into this field? I know, and God bless all counselors out there right now. I know that you're dealing with a lot, considering that everything that's going on. For those of you who are listening to this in the future, it's July 30th, 2020, as we sit through a world pandemic, and that's why I say God bless all counselors, because it's been an interesting ride.
Yes, it's a lot right now. There's lots of poor students out there that are having so much anxiety with everything that's going on. You know, the whole world has changed and life as they know it is completely different, you know, whether they're not allowed to see their friends or go outside or not going to school. And then we also have parents that are struggling with navigating this. So it's really a challenging time for everyone.
Oh, yes. For those of you that are new to my podcasting journey, I have been doing this over the past years, but the funny thing is, I lost my job in March due to COVID and due to they I think fired me because I have a disability. So, but COVID was the kicker that kept me out the door. And so I am going to be a journalist. I am potentially doing my master's in special ed because I feel like the special ed population is getting more thrown in under the bus than the normal population.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about all of that, but you know what it sounds like? You're somewhat taking advantage of this, and that sounds really exciting that you're looking
Oh,
into
yes.
special education. We
Yes,
definitely need
I'm
more
taking
people doing
advantage
that.
of this. Yes, I'm taking advantage of my time off, and I'm making a better and bigger and better, brighter future for myself. So, Crystal, I have a question for you. What do you say to people that are struggling? What do you say to people that are listening to this podcast? Now I know you're in Queensland, which that's a quite distance from me, thank God for technology. But
Yeah.
what would you say to people who are who are struggling and don't know where to start?
You know, now is one of the times where we really just need to be giving ourselves a lot of grace. And how I like to explain it is talk to yourself and treat yourself as if you were talking to your friend or a loved one. And if they were coming to you about whatever worries or concerns they were having, what would you be saying to them? Because sometimes we can talk to ourselves quite negatively. And right now, we need to really implement a lot of that self-love practice and those self-care activities, but the ones that are really going to be taking care of ourselves, not superficial things. You know, it could be as simple as taking a few deep breaths throughout the day, practicing daily gratitude, because, you know, there's always something that we can be thankful for, even when things feel really hard. and most of all, just taking advantage of the resources around us to stay connected with each other so that we can keep supporting each other through this really challenging time.
Sorry about that, you guys. I was going to say I definitely agree, and then realized I muted my mic. But I definitely agree with that, and I am thankful that technology is still here, and we're using technology like there's no tomorrow because of the social distancing and of everything else. So, Crystal, if you had a favorite book, what is the title?
My favorite book, well, the one that I really like to read and recommend to any parents out there that might be listening is called Raising a Secure Child. And it's written by the creators of Circle of Security, Kent Hoffman, Glenn Cooper, and Bert Powell. And yeah, it's a great book because it's such a good guide to parenting and raising our little ones to help build them to have secure attachment so that they can regulate their emotions. And it also is really helpful for us as adults to understand how we can get triggered as parents. And just generally, it's going to create that real positive changes in our families and for their futures as well.
Well, I think that is an amazing book. And then if your BFF had to write best friend forever, for those of you that don't know what that term BFF means, if your best friend had to write a book about you, what would the title be?
That is such a good question, and I love the creativity that you have behind this win. I think it would be something like the journey of finding yourself through helping others. Because if I were to kind of sum up, I think that's what I'm pretty much been going through.
And if you had to move and only take 5 things with you, what would they be?
Oh, this is so tricky. It's sort of like if you're stuck on a desert island, isn't it? As cliche as it is, my phone. Because I want to stay connected to loved ones. And for me, as well as a mum, I have all my photos of my kids on there. And so that's a bit more special to me. And I'm a really sentimental person. So I guess other things would be some of the artwork that my kids have made that you just obviously can't recreate, especially when they're so young. And our wedding albums, we have that's those memories that you can't get back, especially when they're printed, because we don't print photos anymore these days. um and speaking of my husband, there's actually a letter that he wrote to me on our wedding day, and that's something that's really special to me. And then I think the last thing would probably be chocolate.
Oh, oh goodness, chocolate. Oh goodness, you go after my own heart. People know that I love, and I try not to eat them as much as I want to, otherwise I would be big as a house at this point. Um, peanut, I absolutely love peanut butter cups. I don't know why, and they can be the Reese's peanut butter cups, or they can be the healthiest peanut butter cups on the planet. I just love peanut butter cups, and yeah, it's like, oh boy, here goes
Such a good
again
flavor
the
combination.
peanut butter cups, and I'm like, oh boy, yeah, that's my weakness. That's my weakness in the public knowledge. Yes, and
Now we know.
no, it's been public knowledge for a long time that even though I gave up sugar, I still like a good peanut butter cup. And so, Crystal, what is your morning routine?
Well, I'm a mum to two little ones, so a lot of my day does revolve around them. But before I have them wake me up as my built in alarm clocks, I like to, before I open my eyes, think of 3 things that I'm grateful for. That's just like a really easy way for me to work in that gratitude practice daily. And most of my days look different because I do work part-time as a school counselor. And, during my day when I'm working there, I make sure to take breaks and do some mindful breathing to help me deal with the stress and regulate myself. And with the Gentle Counselor, I'm on social media pretty much daily, posting on Instagram and Facebook. And I like to make sure that I'm touching base with my community and the members in my Gentle Motherhood membership, so I can help continue to support them on their healing journey. And, at the end of the day, as a family, we just make sure to spend some time together before the kids go to bed. And for me, it's a lot about those little things that bring me joy in my everyday life.
Yes, it's having them sit and help you cook dinner. It's not always about, oh, they got to be on technology. Oh, they got to do this. They got to do that. It's more about quality time than anything else. And today being when we're recording this, being International Friendship Day, I think true friends are really, really important, especially now when our brains are going nuts and some of us are locked in our houses, like me, and can't go out because we're afraid of what's going to be out there. And yes, I'll mask up, but only mask up if I have to. And so it's really important to have those precious moments off and online.
Yes, you're so right. And, it's as simple as just having conversations, or for me with the kids, it's just sitting down or getting down to their level and just joining in whatever they're doing, or reading stories, or just listening to how their day was. Because, kids, they love to talk and tell you a million stories.
Yeah, yeah. And no, the thing I do miss about education, you guys, is the kids. I do not miss the admin aspect of it. I do not miss
I totally
the
agree.
stress. I miss the kids. I miss my smart aleck kids who knew too much about me and what I've learned in the educational setting that I bring into the entrepreneurial setting is that, or the journalism setting, is if you're having a bad day, just leave it at the door. Just leave it at the door because, as Crystal and as all the educators around the country will tell you and internationally too, if you have a bad day, the kids will feed off you.
Yes, that's so true. They pick up on our emotions and our vibes.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, bad day teacher, bad day kids, and doesn't make a fun classroom. Doesn't make a fun classroom at all. And so, Crystal, I know you had some questions for me, and so now it's your turn.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, I was curious about what made you decide to start sharing your story, because I'm sure that would have been a big step for you to make.
I wrote a book after losing my mom in 2010, and that book and slash her anniversary is coming up. It Her anniversary is coming up in August, and that book it will be 10 years since I lost my mom, you guys.
Wow.
And then I also lost my dad in 2019, May 19th of 2019. And so, but his book is still sitting on my computer, and I will plan to publish that, I think, after journalism school and before I head off to special ed school. I will publish that in a tribute to him. And so, yeah.
Oh, that's so lovely, Win.
Yeah,
and I'm sure it
because
helps you as well process through, healing with all of that as well. Writing the book must be
yeah,
therapeutic as well.
yeah. Well, I it is, and that's something I wanted to do, but man, it's I'm writing a novel in his honor, and I'm making it a mystery novel, and it's so funny because he was an avid he was an avid reader up until the end, and so I'm trying to have a good opening line because one of his problems was if the book didn't have a good opening line, he would put the book down, and I'm like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. And
That's so
then
funny. You've got his voice in your head.
yeah, and so I'm like trying to come up with a good opening line for my mystery novel, Nancy. I want to call it Nancy Drew and all the Hardy Boys in the 21st century. For those of you that don't know what I meant, look up the Hardy Boys on Nancy Drew and you'll figure it out. But I want to make it sort of a Nancy Drew with a disabled twist to it. And so I'm like, oh boy. And so yeah, but he was uh the smartest, funniest guy that I ever met in my life. And except at the end he didn't have he had the wisdom. He had the wisdom, but his sense of humor walked right out the door when he he got his diagnosis. And so but I'm trying to do that. And so that's my story of why I started sharing my story.
Mm. Thank you for sharing that.
Well, you're welcome.
And I just have one more question, if that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And this is one that I like to ask a lot of people, which is if you could tell your younger self something, what would it be?
If I could tell my younger self something, don't go don't go into education straight off the bat. Go go in
It's so funny you say that
to
because anytime I had a student tell me they want to be a teacher, I would look at them and smile and say, don't.
yeah, don't go into education straight off that. Go into whatever you're passionate about, whether it be professional journalism, or whether it be creative writing. Go into something you're passionate about. Don't be. I love my mom dearly, but don't be swayed by your mom
Mm,
because she was an immigrant and she gave me three choices. She goes, you could, and I've talked to kids of immigrants about this. This is public knowledge. My mom gave me the choice of you can be a doctor, you can be a lawyer, you can be an educator. Ugh. And it's like, really, mom? And I, when I got the job opportunity, I didn't even have the job yet. I uh, I was recovering from back surgery, and so I had a friend come over and visit me, and I all that friend said is, "I'm in education. I'm in education. I hear you're getting an education degree." I said, "Yes, begrudgingly." Um, and my mom goes, "Yes, yes, she'll take the job," and that was the end of that. And I'm like,
mm.
"Okay." I couldn't. I was back in the corner on that one. So no, my point being is listen to your parents, but when they give you job advice, do what you're passionate about because it will make it easier in the long run.
Very good advice.
Yeah. So, Crystal, where can people find you?
Well, I have a website, thegentlecounselor.com. And like I mentioned before, I'm mostly on social media on Instagram. And the username is at the Gentle Counselor, and as well on Facebook, the Gentle Counselor.
So, the Gentle Counselor, you guys, and go nicely socially stalk Crystal. And as I said, I will be after my journalism, I will definitely be doing special ed degree and special ed coaching because I cannot go back into the classroom. The classroom, and I don't get along, but I can at least help you guys in that way. But that will be after my journalism degree. But for right now, I want you guys to be safe, be strong, and yes, I am a big proponent of counseling. So if you're listening to this and struggle bus is real because of what's amazing that's going on, go find help. Go find help and go find help in the professional sense. Don't don't even though it's great to have friends, just don't necessarily use them all the time. Just go find help in the professional sense. And I'll leave it at that. And I hope you guys enjoyed another fabulous episode of Ask Win. Thanks to you guys. Bye.